Welcome back to the weekly InSalt.
Hey.
My name is Wade.
I'm Laura.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Were you going to introduce me?
No. I was just gonna be
Damn
silent for the next hour. Laura, how you been?
I'm in good.
Good. We're also here with Kurt,
I
as
am.
usual.
Yeah.
You are alive still?
I'm here all the time.
Yeah, even when we're not doing the podcast, he's just sitting behind the soundboard,
He
just
is,
hanging
yeah.
out. I occasionally give him water. And we're also here with Nicki Sanders as
Hey,
our guest
guys.
today. Hey,
Hi.
welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
You know, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about, but
Yes.
dude, that storm killed my house.
I know, your poor garage.
Yeah, it's not bad because there's not carpet in there or anything except for that one little piece of carpet.
True.
But it's just weird when things get all flooded. I had to like walk through the water to get in my truck to go to the bar. You know, I'm like,
damn
I didn't
it.
really think I was doing this tonight. But we've had the craziest storms this year.
We have. It's
I don't think I've seen a year like this. It's just a really insane year.
Did you
know?
guys see the night where it was just like the lightning was just like sparkling in
Yeah.
the clouds?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even see it, but just like the clouds were glowing.
Yeah,
That
it
was
looked like a
crazy.
strobe light.
It was crazy,
It was
yeah.
cool. It was awesome.
I've never seen that.
You know what? Kurt was really sympathetic too because I called him before the storm and I was like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, "Just laying on my ass." I'm like, well, "Have you seen this storm out back?" And he's like, "Well, I've been hearing a little bit of it." And I was like, "No, you should go look at this. I think it's going to be a bad one." You looked outside. You're like, "Oh shit, it's pretty dark." And we were on the phone for almost the whole duration of the entire thunderstorm. And I was
That's funny.
like, "Dude, I've never it's been years since I've seen rain this heavy." For some reason, the studio was like in the center of that thunderstorm. Like I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. So I was on my way back with Drew on our 2-mile hike,
Yeah, just when
watching the storm.
I'm
in the
talking
middle
to
of it.
Kurt, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do about my driveway. Like, there's a ton of water. It's not keeping up. I'm not going out in this lightning and standing in water to try and clear the drain out. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm just going to put towels at the doorway and hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
And then Kurt goes, all right, cool.
See you later. See you at the bar.
Yeah. I was like, well,
What am I supposed to do? I mean,
I don't know.
Right, well-
No, just be like, I don't know, man. I hope everything's okay.
well, yeah.
But just, okay, have fun. That sounds great for you. And then Kurt's like, in the back of your mind though, because I know you so well, I know you're thinking like, how sweet would it be if there was just 7 feet of water in the basement?
No,
No.
of course not.
Kurt loves disasters though.
I do, but
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like personal property
Oh,
damage.
sure. I know you didn't want that to happen, but I just thought it was funny that I'm like, well, I don't know what to do, man, and I guess I'll just sit here and hope that the water doesn't
There's
get
not a
high enough.
lot
And you're
you
like,
can do.
cool. Yeah, that's what,
Sandbags. We could come fill sandbags with you.
but I don't think sandbags would help. You know?
Probably not. Not with the slope of your driveway.
And I found out that for some reason, only my driveway, when the gutters get high enough, the water overflows into the driveway. So not only am I dealing with all of my water, now I got the city water.
Yeah.
They should be paying me for that.
They
That
should.
should be a city storm drain.
Call the city.
Yeah, maybe I should.
You should.
Probably won't. What have you been getting into this week?
Well, we went and saw the fireworks last night.
We did.
Yeah.
The
Got
video you
props
took
to
is
Midvale.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Harvest Days in Midvale. Do you like fireworks?
Love a fireworks show.
I feel like as I get older, I just like them more.
Yeah, me too.
'Cause I think a lot of cities have been changing into drone shows
I
and stuff.
saw that. Yeah.
Have you seen a drone show?
I've seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know one of the companies around here that does it. I can't remember what their name is.
That's
But
okay.
the drone, they're pretty cool, but love an old-fashioned firework.
I do too because I love the unpredictability of it. Like you never know if one's going to explode like
Explode.
3 feet off the ground.
Right.
There's a little danger involved.
Yeah. I don't like-
Am I going to get rained ash on me?
That's what happened to us last year
Yeah.
when we went, but they really put on a good show last night.
Yeah, Midvale does a really good job with their fireworks show. Their pacing it lasts for like almost 20 minutes
Yeah.
or so.
Nice.
But they do a good job with the pacing. And then at the very end, for some reason, I was laughing last night because when you're at a fireworks show, you're like, this is so cool. I should take pictures of it.
No.
But then all those pictures, we were laughing about this last night, Laura. Those pictures sit on your phone for a year.
A year.
And then you go to the same fireworks show again and you take more pictures.
That's what I was saying. I have the same amount of pictures on my phone from exactly a year ago.
Yeah. The one thing that you have this year that's awesome is like, you remember Beirut had that horrific explosion in the port?
Yes.
The finale, Laura's camera looked like she was in that because there was one really loud boom, and then the camera just points at the ground, and
It literally shook our bodies.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
It was like
Whoa.
that loud.
That's intense.
You
that's
could
why I
feel
like.
the force.
I love it when you feel the fireworks because it just seems it's more real.
You're there. It's
Yeah.
a full body experience. It's not just visual. Yeah.
I want to go to one of those places that creates fireworks. They'll do like a shell that's like they'll try to break the world record, right? Like a 30-inch shell. It's like flies up in the air forever, and then it just rains fire down. It'd be so cool.
So you can go buy these? They make
Kurt,
them for you custom?
look up the world's largest firework.
All right.
Yeah, they like at factories that create fireworks and stuff, they'll have test launches and things, and they try to make the biggest one.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, we can't buy them.
Oh, we can't. I thought
No,
we could. I was
no
gonna
way.
like you can custom order one.
Buy
No,
anything with the right amount of money.
Yeah, that's true. I guess in that case, you'd have to buy somebody to launch it for you.
That's true.
But they bury these
I wouldn't
tubes in
light
the
it.
ground that are like 3 feet wide. They bury them like 6 feet underground, and then they shoot off this giant mortar. And sometimes the explosions are so big that I'm like, everybody looks like they're gonna die.
So the Guinness World Record is 2,797 pounds.
For a firework?
For a firework.
That sounds like
That's
a military
weight,
weapon.
Like
That's a little over a ton.
yeah, I know.
Do you have a video?
I was just gonna say,
There is
that's
a
little
video.
over a ton.
Yeah, throw that up on the screen.
All right.
Do they light it?
Dude, if you make a bomb that big and you're the pyrotechnic, you're like, of course we're lighting this shit.
For real.
Let's see.
Oh yeah,
Holy
just
hell.
launched. They're like a good ways away.
What's going on? That's stars.
That looks like a rocket.
Oh,
Oh.
it's starting to come back down.
Oh,
It's falling before it's
Holy
exploding.
crap.
The whole sky lights up.
Yeah, the whole it almost looked like a nuclear bomb for a second.
did.
Hey, how about that, guys?
About that, guys.
Oh, dude, I hope I'm never. Although I kind of was that guy last night, because when that big explosion hit, I think in the video you took, I was like, "Holy shit!"
You did.
So I was, but at least I didn't say, "How about that, guys?"
I wish you would have.
It's interesting that you do know a company that does the drone shows, because you're kind of in that industry a little bit. I imagine that drones involve some level of software.
Yeah, it's a very techie industry for sure.
Yeah, which is. And how long have you been doing that for?
The tech stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, when? So I graduated, I got my bachelor's degree from the U in 2011.
in computer science
In
or
computer science.
Okay.
So 12 years
Oh
now.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, it's flown.
Yeah, and you're not a developer. You're more
It
of a
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still dabble. I get in it, and just a few months ago, even for a POC before I hired my team, I was like, I'll do it, and I did all the dev work myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yeah.
I keep it current.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah. Which I think you kind of have to. It changes so fast these days.
And you just forget. It's so weird how quickly that skill like atrophies if you don't keep it practiced. So.
I think
Not just
really,
that technology.
Well, yeah, and then you get left
all
behind.
the time.
Yeah, it's a constant like trying to keep up.
it really is like speaking another language. You have to keep up with it. You got to practice, or else you're just gonna forget.
Yep.
Yeah. So what made you want to get into that industry to begin with?
Kind of funny. Well, I fought it for a very long time. So in high school, so my dad's a developer,
Oh, okay.
and so I was around it all the time, and like, yeah, around a bunch of nerdy things constantly, with like LAN parties and just like all the computer stuff all the time. But and then in high school, I was really good at like math and like did the state math contest stuff, did all the like bunch of AP math stuff, and but then was really into band.
Okay.
And when I went to the U, I had a full ride academic scholarship, but then also
Nice.
a music scholarship. And so I was like, oh, cool. I'll do the music thing, because I was super just in that world. So I did that for like 2 years. And then I realized I was like, I don't want this as my career, because I mean, I love it, but pretty much your career path is to become a teacher.
Yeah.
And can you imagine a room full of middle schoolers? Literally my worst nightmare. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, I hate kids. Like, not like
You have kids.
mine are okay. Like, but like a room full of kids? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely
like
not.
mine too, but I don't like kids
Like
generally.
in general, right?
Yeah.
In the masses, no.
yeah.
So did you play an instrument?
Yeah. So I was a classical alto saxophone
Oh,
player.
wow.
Saxophone.
Yeah.
Right.
Very. Again, it was when I went to middle school, and I was like gonna do beginning band, because my dad had done band stuff. He's like, oh, that's what you do in middle school, and you'll get all of your arts credits. So I was like, perfect. And I'd played piano since a very young age, since like 5.
Yeah.
So it was already pretty musical. I was like, sweet, this will be easy. And I went to like that first intro day of beginning band in 7th grade at Crescent View Middle School, and everyone's like figuring out what instrument they want to play. and all the girls were like getting clarinets and flutes, and I was like, "Fuck that!" wait, we can swear on this?
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna do a saxophone," because I didn't want to do brass instruments because my brother already did that. So I was like, "This is what I'm doing."
You want to have your own thing.
So I was the only girl, and so I just got really used to that and thought it was funny because then I would just like win first chair and just make people so angry. Like there were guys who'd been playing for years and had all these private lessons, and like I would just come win, and I found it hilarious.
So you're a competitive person.
A little competitive on that, and so I did that, and so then I did that in college, and then I was like, hate kids, like money.
Yeah. I don't know many people that hate money.
No.
Right. I was like, and so my dad was kind of like, please just take one computer science class. Just see if you like it. And
did he ever talk to you about what he grew up doing, like the languages he used and stuff to program? Or
yeah, I would pay attention a little bit. And then, of course, like when, MySpace was a thing, when you could actually get into the HTML and code your page, that was like my first kind of introduction because I was like, ooh, and my dad was like helping. He's like, oh, you could do this cool thing. And I was like, oh, that is cool.
You had the like dancing baby and the construction signs and stuff.
The music you couldn't turn off, like just terrible things.
Yeah.
Like the most annoying thing you can imagine for a teenage girl. I was putting that in. So I'd been like exposed to it, but I'd really like somehow like kept it at arm's length because that's what my dad did. And then finally I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll take it. And I show up to that first like CS 1410 class at the U, and I come in and the TA in the back was like, thought I was lost. And he's like, oh, what class are you looking for?
So let's preface that a little bit because women in technology wasn't really a thing, like
still.
I mean, still, yeah. I mean, it's still not equal, but it's becoming more accepted. But that's so crazy to be walk into a class like, are you lost?
Yeah, they just assumed I shouldn't be there, and I was like, well, now I have to do it. Like I was like given a challenge. So but I really enjoyed it. Like I was like, oh, it's just like logic puzzles and just solving problems, but using computers to do it. It was so fun.
Oh yeah. As a developer, I think one of the most satisfying things is when you work on a problem for like a week and you've tried everything, and then you finally find that one thing that makes it run, and the adrenaline rush you get, and
you get endorphins.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's literally you get addicted to coding because when you solve the problem, like you get that rush. Oh, and having that as your job every day, it was the best. I'm like, I'm just gonna solve problems.
Do you have this moment like in the 2 a.m. when you're sleeping and you figure something out?
Yes.
That's why I smoked cigarettes for a long, long time, is because I would get frustrated at work, and I'd be like, if I just walk away from my desk and have the cigarette and just get out of the environment and think for a minute. I don't know how many times I went out to smoke a cigarette, took like one drag, put it out, and went back up to my desk and was like, I knew it.
Right. Yeah. I'll do like walks or play like Candy Crush, like stupid games that are entertains like the front of my brain, but like my subconscious is still thinking, and all of a sudden you like can think of the solution. Yeah.
What was really interesting is to watch like the industry evolve from you just code all day and that's what you're supposed to do. You better be at your desk or you're not working, to okay, well maybe we should put the ping pong table in, and maybe we should do this. And
brain breaks.
I remember having my
eye breaks.
Oh yeah, we would be stuck on a problem. We'd get up and go play ping pong, and then quit when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, figured it out."
Right, it works all the time. And it probably takes less time doing that, and then people aren't so frustrated. Win-win.
And working in, I don't know if you've felt this way, but working as a developer, you're constantly, there are the high highs, but there's also the low lows. Like there's the moment where, even to this day, I've been at my work for 15 years, I think, and I still have those moments where I'm like, am I even good at what I do?
Oh, so much. What do they call that? The imposter syndrome. So much where I get that weekly where I'm like, I think I'm just making this up, and I've been able to trick people into thinking I know what I'm talking about, and they mustn't find out. Yeah, it's scary, right?
I've had really hard times.
I have that in my work too, and I'm a developer.
And Kurt, you've talked about it in your job too.
Yeah,
because you have it. Kurt's a network guy. He does networking. He's the guy that we blame everything on.
Perfect.
Yeah, the network guy.
You gotta have him.
Yeah, and your schedule's so busy that sometimes you get stressed out, like just in your personal life. And we've talked about, I'm like, man, just leave work at work. And for some people that's easier, but it does, at the end of the day, it does affect like your personal life.
Work-life balance, happiness.
Yeah, it does. So
I'm really good at shutting it off at 5 though, 5, 6, whatever,
That's good. I try to as well.
I think you have to. My job requires sometimes that I'm like on call, but I just try to tell them, do you really need me?
is it like a real like production outage?
Yeah.
Where we're losing money.
It reminds me I'm
Are
on call
people-
at the end of the week.
At the end of this week? Oh, sorry. Sorry to remind you of that.
Yeah. Like, our lives in danger, or can this wait till 9 a.m.?
So what was like your first job out of college?
It was at Galileo processing. I don't remember the word now, but so fintech stuff.
Oh, okay.
Doing that. I did that for like a year, and then I went to Raytheon. So I was doing defense contracting. And
Oh,
so
wow.
did that for like, which is awesome.
Did it make you feel defense contracting? You're like, oh, now I've got to really be on the ball?
It was more of like, I don't know if I should say,
Yeah,
but
that's
it
fine.
was kind of like, oh, like this is where developers go to die.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I think while I was there, it was like a crazy percentage, like upwards of 50% of developers at Raytheon were within 5 years of retirement, something like that. So like that's where you go to retire, because it's
Got you.
the technology is not changing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to use something new. Okay, get ready for the 3 years of red tape to get it approved, because everything has to be, it's just so scrutinized. So you can't do anything new. So nothing changes, which if you don't want to learn new things, perfect. Nothing will change. You can just do the same thing every day
For the rest of your life.
forever. And after 3.5 years, I was like, okay, cool. I figured like I learned everything I could learn there. And I was like, all right, I'm so bored. And that's when I got into like the blockchain kind of stuff.
Yeah. So getting to the blockchain stuff, that's kind of high risk, high reward area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, we all know how cryptocurrency has gone. The big boom. When was that? A couple years ago?
There's been so many now.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
which
the big
one?
Bitcoin one, when Bitcoin hit like the highest ever.
60,000, or
Yeah.
I think it even hit like 69,000 because we're a bunch of degenerates.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of companies are just either live or die by that, especially, well, obviously, if you're working on blockchain and the whole cryptocurrency thing, a lot of the money is coming from, well, we hope people invest in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a crazy industry.
I'm going towards the question, but I lost it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You did.
Your turn.
My turn?
Yeah.
So
Put her on the spot.
I know I did. I did that on purpose.
I do have one. I just, because, I know how hard it is for a female to really climb the ladder and, get at your industry. It must be extremely hard. So I'm really interested to hear, like, what you had to overcome to get there.
You definitely have to have a really thick skin. And luckily, I grew up with brothers. And then even like in middle school, I was like, I'm going to be with all the boys. I was really used to it. So with all, like, I could throw it right back. And then quickly, like, was just like learning by like watching what people are doing. I was like, these people do not know what they're talking about, but they are so fucking confident. I'm going to do that too. So I would just like emulate that. And then I kind of used it to my advantage, where it was like, all right, I am the only girl on this whole team of developers. I stick out. That's inevitable. That's okay. And I'm going to still show up to work wearing pink and wearing dresses and having my hair done. I'm not going to try to blend in. I'm just going to lean into the stick out and then use that for my advantage. I was like, all right, cool. There's this. I started getting into a lot of like public speaking and going to conferences, talking about tech stuff, because I was really memorable when I would do that. And I would volunteer, and people were like, awesome, we'll send Nicki. Because then, first of all, it looks like we're so woke and diverse. Send her.
Isn't that crazy?
And then I was also not bad at it. I think if I was terrible at it, it probably would have gone a different way. But since I wasn't bad at it, it just kept rolling, because people were like, oh, have her come back, because then we have a girl on the panel. And I just kind of used it to my advantage.
How important do you think it is in technology to be charismatic and be able to be a public speaker?
It depends on your path. Like, there's definitely those developers who they want to be a developer forever. That's like my dad. He would rather, like, he's had to manage people, hates it. Like, he wants to code, and that is what he's good at. And we need those people. Like, they're so good. Like, you have to have them. But then you need people who can be people managers, which you can't just pick the best developer on the team and be like, you're going to be the people manager. That
doesn't work.
It does not work. I see it happen so often where I'm like, we know this is not going to work. That person's going to be mad. They don't want to talk to people.
Yeah.
So it just really depends. There's kind of like a fun gap between those like super smart, hardcore developers and the like sales, marketing, business people.
Yeah.
And I found I was really good at being like a translator between them, because I could like take the tech stuff. What I would do, honestly, would be like, I'm going to explain this to the business side at a 7th grade level. I'm going to use 7th grade jargon terms. If a middle schooler can understand it, that's how I'm going to present it. And it worked so well, like almost scarily so, where people are like, oh, this is so easy to understand. I'm like, yes, I practiced on my 7th grader.
The undertone there is such good career advice, because I think everybody has that moment at work where they're like, I don't know, I'm kind of lost or whatever. You got to find that. And it's not going to be easy to see, right? But you find that thing where you're like, okay, I see I can fit here because I'm good at public speaking. I'm also good at explaining the knowledge that I have in my brain to people who don't have that.
Yeah.
And if you can fit into that, or if you can find that in your job, it almost makes you like 10 times more valuable, because
definitely.
I am a developer, but I don't want to be the best developer. I want to be like your position where it's, okay, I understand where we're going. Do I know all the little details about how to get there technology wise? Not necessarily, but I have people on my team that know that.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to get that panicky product guy that comes in and says, the client really wants this. It wants it by tomorrow. And I'm going to say, okay, well, let's talk about the 3 rules. You can either it can be cheap, it can be fast, or it can be good.
Right.
You only get 2.
We love our panicky product people.
Oh yeah, it's the best. I think that's another thing with software development is I've been approached so many times by friends like, let's do this website. I got the greatest idea. When do you, okay, but you're going to have to pay me. When do you want it done by? Oh, it should be super easy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all,
I love that. I'm always like,
I've
really?
learned not to say that at my job anymore.
the last person that did that to me, I was like, okay, well, I don't walk into your work and tell you how easy your job is, you know?
We make it look easy.
Yeah.
And that's why people think it's easy, which is really a compliment.
We were talking about something about that before the show. It was, the cornhole competition that we were watching on TV. Like, they make it look so easy, but the reality is they do that all day, every day.
Yeah.
That's their job.
Yeah.
We're getting paid for our expertise.
Yeah. And when somebody approaches you like, I've got this great website idea, how long will it take? Longer than you think already. Number one, it's always going to take longer, and it's always going to cost more money probably than you think. And managing that expectation in a professional environment is a true skill to tell them how big is your budget? Okay, we can't do that with your budget.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot in the past couple of years because, we're doing lots of process improvements and development, and how to communicate requirements makes a huge difference. You can go completely miss. And I told you this is what I wanted. That's not what you said.
Yeah.
It's been really fun, but
that's so important. And then especially if you're in any sort of leadership role on the engineering side, I'm sure you see this all the time too, where as a manager, you have to become like that meat shield between the panicky product people and the sales people who sold something that you don't have, and your developers, because developers they can be so panicky. Just as a group, I'm like, they're like little chihuahuas where like you slam the door too hard and like they panic. So I find like one of my jobs is literally, I call myself the meat shield. I'm like, tell it to me. I'll handle the stress and the anxiety, and then I'll filter what's needed to the developers. Don't interrupt them. Don't scare them. Don't set. They're gonna run to the bar. No. No one. Don't even look at them. They're like, I just protect them like my little cute like little puppies.
It's so interesting talking to somebody who knows the industry, and I'm sure there's a lot of parallels in other industries too. I'm sure if you work in the service industry, that shit happens the same too.
I'm sure
it does.
Don't scare the servers because after work they're running to the bar. Okay. That's a good analogy. Like, you're in the chicken coop. The developers are in the chicken coop. Let them be there and be happy about that.
Yep.
Don't open the door and then throw like a pig in there and be like, hey, have fun.
No.
I think one of the biggest parts of management for me that I didn't like was sometimes you have to be a babysitter.
Yes.
Yeah,
and you get
time.
For me,
So
I don't understand this because I just try to be honest at work. If I'm sick, I just call in sick. I feel guilty about it, but I'd rather tell them I'm sick than be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard so many excuses as a manager, like people will come up with these wild things in their head and tell you, well, I didn't really sleep much last night because I've just been worried about this and I've been stressing out about that. And I'm like,
Just take the day.
so you're telling me you're stressed? Just take the day off then.
Yeah. Take a mental health
I hope
day.
you didn't not sleep last night because you were trying to think of the excuse to get out of work today. Just take the day off.
I know, especially in this industry. Usually, yeah, it's funny.
You have PTO, use it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
or
is-
unlimited. And a lot of times it's like, take the day.
Dude, I wish I had unlimited PTO.
Me too.
It's nice, except for sometimes you forget to use it because you don't see it accumulating.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm on teams with unlimited, I'm like, track your days. Just not as like you can't take too many. I'm like, you need to take at least 3 weeks. Because you'll forget if you don't see it. So it's kind of weird.
Unlimited is a weird offer to give anybody
I
because
wouldn't get anything done if I had unlimited PTO.
Because that's not true. We all know
take
it's
the
not
year
true.
off.
yeah, I think if you had unlimited PTO, you have such good work ethic that you're not gonna. You would understand that you're taking too much time off, and I think that's where our industry in particular gets really lucky is that we're just trusted that we're gonna do our job and we're gonna get our work
You
done.
deliver.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right. They don't. They literally. They don't care where you do it, how you do it, when you do it, which is awesome. Especially like I'm a mom, and I don't know how more moms aren't in this industry because it's so flexible. When people are like, oh, we need a flexible job for parents, first of all, and for dads too. Like, this is awesome. My daughter has a random ass Friday off work because the schools love us. I just work from home that day, or just take it off.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and I
And
think
you can work nights,
Yeah.
days,
Well,
weekends.
when I get an idea, you know how that is. Like there's a Sunday where all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know how to do this. Take a couple hours and do it, but then I'm going to take Monday off because I worked on Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. And then you have to also keep in mind that it's just about committing to things that you can achieve.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in their job, don't be a hero, You'll feel like
Yes.
at work you want to be a hero and you want to be better than like, I can do more work than this guy. I can do more whatever. Just do what you're capable of and don't make it hard on yourself. I think it's important. I mean, every job has stress, but is it really worth it to commit to something that you're going to stress out about? No way.
No. Or if
Yeah.
you need more time, say something.
Yes.
Yeah, be communicative.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. It's
It
all
is.
about communication, which again, developers not always the best at.
Yeah, and I think people in a lot of their jobs, if you get in trouble, ask for help.
Yep.
And it's not a weakness. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I
hard
trust
for people,
somebody.
though.
It is hard for people, but I'd trust somebody way more if they said, "Hey, look, I bit off more than I can chew. I need help.
Yeah.
Will you help me?" I'll be like, "Yeah,
You're going to
anytime."
trust them forever
Yeah.
because you know that they're telling you the truth.
So when I bite off more than I can chew, hey man, I need some help. Yeah.
I get coworkers that come to me all the time.
Yeah.
Say, hey, can you help me with this? Sure. Can you look at this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I do the same. I'm like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
and I need some help with this.
Yeah, and then I think that
important.
plays into the imposter syndrome because you're like, I don't know, I bit off more than I can chew, but I think I can do it. Or wait, can I? Am I actually good
You're like,
enough to do
I
it?
could, but like, how much time is it worth doing all by myself? And working all weekend? No.
One thing that I say the same to Kurt all the time because he's a super hard worker, but I'm like, Kurt, the only reward for hard work is more work.
It's
Yep.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
My theory is tap into talent. That's why you have them. Trust them.
Yeah. I always try to hire people that I can really rely on because, I mean, I've seen some managers before. I swear to God, they're hiring people so that they look good. Like, so
Yeah.
there's no competition for their spot. And I go the opposite. I'm like, I want to hire people who I can lean on 100%.
Yeah.
And if they're better than me, they're better than me. That's fine. But I need people I can rely on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I create a resume too, haven't for a long time, but I still keep the doors open. I still will be like, yeah, I'll take an interview, just to stay sharp and keep that skill up to par.
Yeah.
But when I send a company a resume or I apply for something, I'm very choosy about what I put on there because I've gotten resumes before where people have had 7 jobs in the last year.
Yeah, not a good sign.
Oh.
So you're like,
Uh-oh.
okay, you seem like you have all the skills. You seem really reliable.
What's wrong with you?
Other
Yeah.
than, and there might be nothing. They might just not have found the place that they want. But
Could be.
That's how hiring is it's really non-personal. You look at a piece of paper or an application and you say, nope, or okay, we can talk to
Yeah.
this person.
I've done a lot of interviews over the years.
What would you give?
I would say I can tell within 10 minutes.
Yeah, of speaking to
Yeah.
somebody in
If-
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be your biggest tip to people that are like not just in the tech industry, but that are applying for a job?
If you ask an open-ended question and they can't quite give you an answer,
That's a big red flag.
yeah, that's a red flag. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's confidence. When you go into a job interview and you're nervous, every person that's interviewing you knows that you're nervous.
Yeah.
So be nervous. It's fine.
Or the complete opposite, cocky,
Ooh,
overconfident.
I would rather have nervous than cocky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
For sure.
Yeah. Nervous means that they're there because they want to be
Yeah.
there and they really want the job. If you walk in and you're like, yeah, I can do whatever you want.
Or they
Okay.
can't give you a situational like example of a skill set that you're specifically trying to figure out if they have or not.
Yeah. What do you think is the hardest question to ask in an interview? Or like, what would you ask somebody that you would think is a hard question to answer? Does that make sense?
I don't know if this is the hardest one for people, but I always end with, why should I hire you?
Oh, I kind of secretly hate
I
that
hate-
fucking
I know, but
question.
there's
I
a
hate
reason.
it.
There's a reason why I asked that, and it's around getting to, do they really want it? Are they hungry enough? Are they, if they can
Yeah.
give me a reason why they're skilled? Because there's a lot of people that are skilled out there picking the right one. I've made bad choices,
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're
and
human.
regretted them.
Yeah, you're human.
But
You know how I'd answer that one? I just love money, Laura.
nah,
Just give me that money.
I would laugh.
I need a job.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we'll be back in a minute.
Yep.
And we're back.
Hey.
Weekly InSalt
Welcome.
with Nikki.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
A lot of nerd talking to be
A lot of nerd
Dude,
talking.
we got really nerdy. Yeah.
Episode 282, by the way.
Yeah.
They all gave me a bunch of shit over break.
Not they,
End
me.
of the world. Yeah, but
Just
the
her.
listener doesn't know that. Now you're giving behind the scenes stuff. They got to pay for a Patreon to get that.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. We don't have a Patreon.
We don't.
I don't know where I was going to go with that, but here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. Kurt,
Yeah.
do you want, is it time?
If whatever.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to bring back the chip challenge. We should do that
Yeah, let's
first.
do that first.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't know, if you're just listening for the first time, Kurt and I went to the Asian store and we bought like 40 bags of chips of all different flavors. Some of them are great. Some of them are completely horrible.
Yeah.
And others are mediocre. And I've got two here. The way it works is Laura will guess, Nikki will guess, Kurt will guess. We've got a tally written down. What's the current score?
Excuse me. Laura is at 3.
Yay.
The guest is at 2.
Okay, not far behind.
And I'm at 4.
You are one ahead.
Oh.
And the guest is just a collective over different shows that we've tried this. So here's your chance to
man.
boost it up.
Yeah.
I'm in it for everyone. Okay.
You are.
Yeah. Not just you, everybody else that has been a guest.
Yeah. No
Too.
pressure.
You ready to get started?
I am.
Number
Yeah.
one?
No pressure at all.
So we're going to try one all together and then try not to chomp in the microphone. Some people like ASMR. Somebody out there would probably be listening and be like, that's super cool.
Yeah.
But just take one out of this bag and try it. You can smell it, which literally gave me no help.
No help.
No. Well, kind of.
Especially because I can't smell. So
I know what the answers are, and I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to lead you on the way, but I'm not going to give it away because
ready?
there's been a lot of complaints that he's cheating the system.
he is cheating the system.
I'm
Yeah.
not cheating the system.
I'm
So-
just playing it better than you.
Yeah. We ready?
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's do it.
Right away, just because I know the name of it, I got it, but
It tastes
a
like
little bit
barbecue.
tangy. I could see that. To point you in a different direction, a little
Yeah.
too much tang to be barbecue, I
Okay.
would say. Or a little too much,
Sweet.
a little sweet. Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of lime.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which is a flavor, like we have, what is it, Lay's with like lime or whatever? Yeah.
But this
Lemon.
is a lot more. Tastes like a margarita almost.
It almost does, yeah. Do you have a guess, Laura?
I don't.
I'm just going to
I'm
go
going-
with the lime flavor.
I'm going margarita.
Okay. I'm going to give.
Wait.
Okay.
Or wait, it's like, I don't know.
No, yeah, you're good with what you have. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I don't have a guess this week. I'm going to go with
Do you want to try another one?
no.
Okay.
No.
You know what it is.
I know it's in my little brain here.
Two people
tastes
have
like-
already said it.
Margarita? Lime?
You just go with our
Grilled,
guesses?
It's
grilled chicken.
lime
Lime.
lime
With-
flavored.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's lime. Just
Oh,
lime.
it is just
yeah,
lime.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think that margarita is acceptable answer.
Yeah,
think
and
so.
I said I was like, I taste lime.
Kurt and the
Right.
guest
I went
get a
too
point.
big. I went too
That
complicated.
chip is from Taiwan. I don't know.
Huh.
Like, maybe Taiwan's just really on a lime kick right
So
now.
Kurt and the guest get a point?
Yeah,
So-
Kurt said lime.
Okay.
Nikki said margarita, which I think
I was trying to
pretty
get.
much lime.
I was getting fancy with it.
And you did say it right off the bat. You're like, tastes like lime.
Yeah.
Yeah. You knew it.
I'll
Yeah.
keep it simple.
Yeah.
I was making it too complex.
I don't know why I got barbecue off of that.
I totally do. I totally know why, because it's got the salt with the lime,
Maybe that's what
and
it
then
is.
it kind
Yeah.
of is like that citrus mixed with, and then a little bit of sweetness. It gives it totally gives a barbecue flavor.
Cool.
Next one. Let's see. This one should be fun. I don't know what to expect out of this one.
That makes me a little nervous for you to say that.
Yeah, it's not. Went easy on you. Which at some point, Kurt, you know what that means, right? We're going easy like most of these weeks, so the last part of this chip challenge is going to suck because it's going to be all the crazy flavors, like weird. It's just going to be weird.
It's a strong scent.
It is, yeah.
Ooh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Spicy.
So I got like everything at once, right? I got. Oh, it is a little spicy.
It is spicy, dude.
Oh, I didn't think I picked a spicy one. It didn't say spicy on it.
There's like levels here. Okay.
There's
I feel like I'm trying to describe a fine wine, but it's a potato chip.
well, that's why we're here. We're the fine potato chip show. I got a little spice.
It does have a
It
little
definitely got a
spice.
lot of salt. It doesn't scream. I
It's-
thought it would scream barbecue, but it doesn't.
I'm gonna
It's more
do.
Cajun-y.
I'm gonna do like a pork soup.
Okay.
I'm getting a Cajun sort of flavor off of it.
This one, oh, I didn't see where this one was from. I have a feeling that this one's from like China or Japan.
Yeah. I'm getting like, I don't even know how to describe it.
It's
Like
spicy, but then there's.
chili.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a chili.
But you actually get the
Cajun-
chili
yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
I'm tasting the chili, feeling the chili.
And there's almost like, for me, there's like a seafoody undertone there somewhere that's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that.
I got a little bit of seafood undertone, so
Yeah.
it's
All right, your guess.
Oh, man.
gonna go-
Oh, man.
And think simple. Like if you
Okay,
generalize
yeah.
it, then you'll probably get it. But
okay. So
because I'm not looking for the exact name, because there's no way you'd guess the
Okay.
exact name of this chip.
I'm gonna go with some kind of a chili fish, maybe crab.
Okay.
Gonna go like with an oyster sauce.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. It's probably in the flavor of this chip, but I think I'm going to give it to Kurt. Somehow he's so good.
What did he
This
say?
is
What did he
actually,
say?
he
I didn't hear what
he
he
said
said.
a pork soup.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
However, this was called artificia pot chicken. So it is a soup. He just got the closest.
Got ya.
But it is like, it kind of does have, like, now that you think about it, it's like, okay, I could see it being like a soup vibe. They're really hard though.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, he's taking.
That means Laura and
bit of a-
Guest. Laura and Guest are tied at 3.
Okay.
I am at 6.
See, now, you know what? We're going to have
man.
some mad listeners.
We are.
Because I did have my phone right here. He might have saw the.
I didn't.
He might have
I
saw it.
promise I didn't.
He might have seen it.
No. That's
Is he,
bullshit.
is he trustworthy?
Yeah, he is
I
actually.
don't know how you got chicken off of that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I didn't pick up any chicken.
That was just the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be like a chicken seasoning.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
After the show,
Like bouillon?
I'll take a picture.
Yeah,
We'll take
like
a
a
picture
ramen
of the
packet.
bag.
Yeah.
And then I'll send that to our social media person to put that kind of with the post
Okay.
or in a post.
Yeah.
But I'll show you guys the bag afterwards. And when you see it, you'll probably be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The lime one, I'll show you the bag, but it's just got a picture of a lime on it. So it's not that
Perfect.
exciting.
Yeah, the second one definitely had a bite right away. It heated me up.
I had no idea because I was like, I didn't pick any spicy ones.
Yeah.
The one, I almost feel like the other spicy one we have is unfair of what like the flavor of the chip is, but
Don't give it away.
I won't.
No.
That'll be for another episode.
Yes.
I think it's time for
Curts
Corner.
Curts Corner.
Kurt's Corner.
Kurt's
Kurt,
Corner.
something that Kurt has to say. Kurt's
Yeah.
Corner.
Jesus.
Is that a good intro? That was
I think
great.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
We missed it last couple of weeks. So
All right. So I don't have anything spectacular.
Just you say every week, man. I think you've done a
Yeah.
great job, except for last week where you didn't have anything.
yeah.
Well, okay. So a little bit about my background and how I became the VP of Sound here. You guys know that I did 7 years in corporate stage production, and that industry is ass-busting work.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can work 14-hour days on your feet the entire time, and it sucks. And so with that, we're going to talk a little bit about Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, she's been doing her tour
perfect.
lately, huh?
Immediately interested.
See? He's always like, I don't have anything that great. And then you bring up T Swift.
Yeah, I'm not a Swiftie by any means. I don't know about any of you. If you're a Swiftie, raise your hand.
I mean, I wouldn't kick her out of bed if she was eating
raise-
crackers.
I'm going to go halfway up.
I like Taylor Swift.
Did
She's hot.
I buy tickets and fly to go see her? No.
No.
Yeah.
If she came to Salt Lake, would I look into it? Yes,
Yeah.
maybe.
$1,200
Am
a
I
ticket?
open? Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm no Swiftie, but I do like her music, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to go to her concert or anything like that. But anyway, that's not the point. She just finished up her U.S. leg of her Eras tour, which is wildly successful.
Yeah.
And the reason why I brought this up was I was reading this in the news, and she, it's common for musicians and people of this and in corporate stage productions that I did, the clients would leave gratuities.
Okay. Like, it's so a tip. They tip
Yeah.
y'all for not sleeping for 3 days.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So they'd leave gratuities. Even I got some when I was doing the shows that I did, and they
Nice.
were nice. But Taylor Swift, she tipped all 50 of her truck drivers. They
This is going to be a dumb number.
I bet it is too.
Have you not read this?
they, yeah, you read it. I'm sure you.
Oh, I did.
These truck drivers, the same truck drivers that tour with her, so they're on the road with her for the last 6 months.
So they're basically her employees. She probably
Yeah.
always has
Oh,
the
yeah.
same truck drivers, right?
Well,
Yeah.
at least for this tour.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for the U.S. part,
Yeah.
she'll have different crew when she goes overseas, but
Oh, I don't know the number.
it's for 50 all 50 of her truck drivers 6 months, and so they're away from their families for 6 months and $100,000.
Are you kidding
piece.
me? A piece?
On top of what they're getting paid.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep, $100,000, and I thought that
That's-
was amazing.
That is amazing.
It's really cool.
It is cool because it's a celebrity going out of their way to make sure that they take care of the people that are supporting them.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot
Because
of celebrities
she-
that are like, nah, this is my money.
Yeah, and people like Taylor Swift, she recognizes that if it wasn't for these people,
The crew,
that her show wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I think Taylor Swift's always kind of been that way, though. She's always been really generous. Like when she was just becoming famous, she put out all those videos on social media of like giving presents to her fans.
Yeah.
She would just show up at their houses and stuff. I don't think a lot of you never see Kanye doing that.
no.
No, you see,
He's
think
too
about
busy
that
making
number.
sneakers.
$100,000 times 50, that's $5 million.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's a drop in the bucket
of what she made off
she
the
made
tour.
Oh,
off
what
the
she
tour,
made,
so-
yeah.
Cleaned
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, she.
No.
That's how do you think that feels? If you're Taylor Swift, put yourself in her shoes for a minute. You do a U.S. leg of your tour. I don't know. Is there a number of how much she made on just the U.S. leg of her tour? Probably not.
I've not read
probably
it.
not.
It's got to be like
Astronomical.
hundreds of millions of
Oh,
dollars.
yeah.
And then you get home finally back to your beautiful house and your family or whatever. I don't think she's married yet.
No.
Which is great for publicity.
Yeah.
And then you just sit there and be like, "Wow, that was a lot of work. Was it worth 500 million?" Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
just work really hard for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. And I hear that every city she goes to, she also donates to like their food banks.
Really?
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
yeah, where the one in San Francisco, I think it was enough to feed 500,000 people for like
Wow.
5 years.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Assuming the money
So
goes
it's
where they
truly
say it does.
genuine on her part.
Yeah.
Yep. And she'll just do that. She doesn't really publicize it. It's kind of under, like, she just goes in every city she goes to. She pays them.
You know what'd be crazy if Post Malone and Taylor Swift got married?
He's already married.
Is Post Malone married?
I think he is, yeah.
He's either
Oh.
married or has a longtime girlfriend. He just had a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Sorry.
bad for publicity,
Yeah.
but then they painted a Raising Cane's pink. So great for publicity.
I love that.
Have you been to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been to it since they painted it. I went there before.
The funniest was like, so I'm a suburban mom. The Nextdoor app. People were so mad about the pink Raising Canes. Like, it's such an eyesore. As if like that area was some beautiful
Oh, no.
part of town.
Right.
Like,
Normal.
you should, the bitching from the Karens, I was so entertained. But anyway, I love it. I love the pink Raising Canes.
I think it's awesome. And I think it's cool that he picked to do that in a city that he lives in, you know,
Yeah.
instead of being like, well, we can put a Raising Cane's in Las Vegas
Yeah.
and put my name on it.
Right.
No, he loves Utah.
He
That's
does.
super cool.
It's
We
so
don't get
cool.
many people like him, and whenever I've heard anybody meet Post Malone, he's just the nicest guy.
That's what I
He'll
hear
like make
too.
time, like, can I get a picture? He'll be like, hell yeah, you can. He's always holding a Bud Light because why not get
Why
sponsored
not?
by them?
Yeah. Speaking of pink, have you seen Barbie?
Yes.
And how was it?
I loved it. I went
Okay.
with like my sister and my best friend.
Guess how much
Dressed
money
up.
Barbie has made in the box office?
Ridiculous
Dude.
amount too.
I-
Yeah.
It just posted on the news. It was 1 billion.
Wow.
So the highest ever for like a solo female director.
Yeah.
No, I really liked it. I went in not really knowing what it was about.
We haven't seen it yet. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah.
And it's not like what I thought at all. It's kind of tough because I won't give any spoilers, but like my 7-year-old of course sees the advertisements, and so she's like, I want to see Barbie. Totally like age up, like nothing bad in it. There's some innuendo things that like will go over her head.
Yeah, you have to have that because they knew
Which-
parents are coming to the show.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not worried about like those things. It's just it might be boring for her. It's not a kids show.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's just, I mean, visually stunning, beautiful. Maybe that would be enough for her, but like the dialogue and the undertones and the actual story would be way over her head. So yeah, not for kids, but not because of like
Weird
swearing,
things, yeah.
nudity, like I even read they're like definitely for 13 and above because they bleep out like an F word and you can tell it's an F word. I was like, well, you shouldn't come to my house. Like, oops.
You be hearing bleeps all the time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like that doesn't mean that my 7-year-old can't go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a terrible parent.
I don't think that makes you a terrible
No,
parent.
it's like
Trust me, she's probably saying it at school anyway.
better not. Our whole thing we do is like, I'm allowed to say it because I have a job and pay for my own house. They're not bad words because you're not a bad person. They're adult words.
Yeah.
Like once you pay your own way, go ahead.
Say what you want.
What a great idea. I love that
Like
idea.
at school, no.
No. Yeah, you're not paying for anything. You're not paying for
No,
school.
adult words. You have to earn them.
That's a great way to spin that. I really like
I
that.
do too.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, so we haven't seen it, but we're going to.
Go,
Yeah,
it was
Kurt
so
has his
fun.
own registered trademark Kurt Tomatoes rating system. It's 1 through 10.
Yep.
But the lower the score, the better the movie is because he's throwing tomatoes at the screen. Yeah.
Throwing
Yeah.
fewer
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love Margot Robbie. And
Yeah.
she's just so
She
freaking
kills
beautiful.
anything that she's in,
Yeah.
honestly.
She's just stunning in it.
Oh, yeah. I think that she did the best decision to do that movie.
I do, too.
And I think I told it on the podcast a couple weeks ago, but her one request was, yeah, I'll do the movie as long as there's a slide from the bedroom to the pool or something like
Yeah.
that. Or a
Yeah,
slide and
something
everything.
silly.
Yeah, and she was like, that's all you want? And she's like, yeah.
Barbie's dream house.
Yeah, now, which,
It was awesome.
God, if you have old Barbies, like that market just went through the
It
roof.
did. Yep.
My mom had one, and she, like years ago, was like, I want to get rid of it. Went and got it appraised, and they said like maybe $100, but it was in an old case. It had all the outfits and
Original.
stuff. It was original, yeah. And I think she ended up selling for like $100. And I was talking to her
I wonder
about
what
it,
it's
and I
worth
was
now.
like, I don't know if we even want to look.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's worth
I
10
would be
times.
interested to look.
Yeah.
Dude, Barbies have been, it's been crazy. So my daughter, it's at the fun, like the perfect age, like 7 is, she's starting to get into Barbies and less like baby dolls. It's been so fun. First of all, for me, because I got her, she has the dream house. We have this stuff and I'm there playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the best. But then I'm like, oh, I wish I would have saved some of the ones from when I
Same.
was a kid. I think by the time I was a teenager, they all went to DI. And
I
I'm
guess
really
you'll have to
sad.
pass it on to your daughter and just say, you know what? These are going to be worth a ton of money when you're my age.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And she'll
yeah.
be like, whatever.
I know,
Mom.
then she'll get rid of them, and I will too because of the clutter.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, I did that with like Nintendo and stuff. I
Oh,
just store
can
it
you
away,
imagine?
and then I think I remember my dad being like, "Well, we just gave it away because
Yeah.
it was just sitting in storage. You weren't ever gonna play it again. There's
Now,
newer
like,
things."
if you imagine having an original Super Nintendo right now,
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're so popular.
yeah. It's crazy how things come and go like that.
Well, that
and as a kid,
toys in
you
general,
don't care.
like Tonka
Toys.
toys,
Oh yeah,
Matchbox cars.
Does anyone still have a Furby?
No,
my
I had
sister
one, though.
had one, and
I was describing it to my kids the other day, and the horrified looks on their faces. They were like, "How would it talk?" And I was like, "Let me show you a video." They're like, "You had that in your room?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." And sometimes it would just start talking in the middle of the night.
that's why my sister got rid of hers because she had this box where she would store it, and she would be sleeping, and that thing would just start talking. And so I'm pretty sure she told my mom like, "We've got to get rid
gotta
of
get
this
rid
thing."
of
This
They were
thing-
definitely possessed, but I'm so sad I don't have one.
Well, what's worse, a Furby or a Teddy Ruxpin?
True.
What's a Teddy Ruxpin?
Oh my god!
You don't know what a Teddy Ruxpin is?
No,
They were a little. How old are you?
39 tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So they were even a little old for me, I think, because I remember, because I'm 35, and I remember hearing about them, but it was like older kids, like making jokes about them.
What was it?
It was a doll.
Will you pull up a picture?
It's a
of it?
teddy bear.
Oh my god!
But it was
that's
like a
horrible.
talking
It was
teddy bear?
yeah. It was about.
It was big too.
Yeah.
This is probably the origin story of Chucky then.
Maybe the writers were like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that teddy bear was crazy. Like we need to make a crazier doll. And I think there was some other scary toys as kids. I'm trying to think. I had one. I can't remember the name of it, but I had a toy. I think that any toy was scary to me if it just randomly turned on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which now that I think back, I'm like, okay, the technology involved in like the 90s and
Yeah.
of course they probably shorted, and that's why they were talking. But like
As a kid,
good
you didn't
God.
think that. You were like, why is this shit talking in the middle of the night?
No. And as a parent, if I think about that happening and whew,
Oh,
Right.
dude, 1 hour of 1990s TV commercials. I bet we could just do that for the rest of the show.
All right, we're gonna watch this Teddy
Yes.
Ruxpin commercial
Okay.
from back in the day.
Show and tell time. Another teddy bear? My teddy's name is Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh, dude, I don't like it already.
oh, their kids are making fun of him. He's being show and tell shamed.
Yeah, he is. Oh, that's.
Hi. Holy shit. Can you and I be friends?
Yeah.
Holy shit, it hypnotized them all immediately. The marketing is scary. Dude, wait,
God.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
that
but
was the
there's-
whole
Yeah.
commercial?
Yeah.
Yes. It
But
was
there
like,
was-
look how cool
My
you'll be
daughter
to your
had one.
friends.
Dude, that's like guerrilla marketing right there because it was all the kids. They showed a bunch of kids being shaming this poor kid for doing show and tell, which they should still do in school, let's be honest. And
Wait,
then
they should still do show and tell, or they should be shamed.
they should, well, a little of both. I think it
Okay.
builds character.
Yeah. Thick
It may
skin.
not too bad.
Yeah, but
Like-
there was nothing better than slapping in an Ozzy Osbourne tape in the back of one of those.
It had a tape deck.
You didn't see on the commercial?
Yeah,
I didn't know
put it in
that's
there.
what that was. I
didn't
thought that
have
was a
the
weird
tape deck.
cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cassette. It
Yeah.
was
So it could play any music, like it was a
Oh,
yeah.
speaker.
So you could record it like, "Hey, I'm Teddy.
Oh wait, you
Teddy
could.
Ruxpin."
well, no, it would play the sound
Okay.
through it, but it wouldn't move with an Ozzy Osbourne tape or a
Yes.
Motley Crue tape
Yeah.
shoved in it.
Look it up, Kurt. We need one for the show. It will permanently be in
I know. I'm
that
like,
seat.
we have we can make that happen. Like,
Let's do it. I think that we have a Teddy
rig
Ruxpin
a
mascot
Teddy
in here.
Ruxpin.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure there's just some servos in there. We could hook up
Yeah, there was,
Oh, we
there
can
was
make our
something part
own.
of
We
the-
can rebuild him.
Yeah.
and make him talk.
Oh,
there
we
was,
can
there
make
was
him way
something
more
part of the tape, the original tape that it comes with that makes it move, but it's weird.
Yeah, very
It was-
weird.
It was total magic.
That is weird.
It's weird.
And they broke pretty easy.
They did.
That commercial, just so
reliable.
the listener knows, it started out with them all like shaming the kid, and then it said, "Hi, I'm Teddy Ruxpin. Can we be friends?" And they all, like children of the corn, were like, "Yeah." They were all instantly
They're
hypnotized.
excited.
I don't know if they were. It seemed like a cult was
such
being
good
built.
acting.
Yeah.
Those kids.
Imagine
But every
a room
kid
of-
wanted one.
Oh yeah, you,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great marketing.
I mean, that was the way of the past. Scrolling through the catalog during Christmas, it was the
And-
best.
Oh, I remember doing
And
that.
commercials.
Circling
It was
what you
all
wanted,
commercials.
all the commercials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Saturday morning cartoons. It was all about the commercials.
Yeah, now when I watch commercials for kids, I'm like, does any kid really think that's cool? But obviously they're advertising it that way on TV, so
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they do.
It's their target audience
But
right
it's on
there.
it's on YouTube Kids now, where they have the ads, and my daughter will watch it and she'll just screenshot if it's something that she wants, and then and then tell me to check her photos. I'm
Isn't
like,
that crazy?
Screenshot.
It's so funny.
That's,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
screenshot it now.
Our screenshot was getting a marker and
Right,
circling it in the
circling it.
catalog.
yeah.
and leaving it on the counter.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Tearing the page out.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget this one, Mom. It's
Holy
this-
shit. They ran Teddy Ruxpin up until 2019.
No.
Really?
No way. Can we get one? How much are they?
I don't know.
I really want one for the studio. That would be so weird.
When did they first come out?
1985.
85. Okay, so it was before I was born.
Yeah, I remember those.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, look,
interested to
let's
see how
find
much
one.
one is on like eBay.
We'll get one. We'll just have to be very particular about which guest we put it out for. Because I can see somebody like, well, I don't really know you. Like you walk in, you're like, why is there a Teddy Ruxpin here? This is the weirdest experience I've ever had.
$46
weird
and it could be
robot.
yours.
46?
46
That's
bucks.
it?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
one
we're
that ends
getting
here
one.
in, like,
Does that still have a tape deck, or did they eventually upgrade to a CD player?
Now, this one comes with 3 cassettes.
Wow.
Ooh.
I didn't realize that
here's
we're
one for
going to
$25
take up this much time.
1985
I know, on
original.
On the
dolls.
Dude, look at this. This one looks all creepy. She looks
Throw
like
it
it's
up.
already dead.
Throw it up on the screen, man.
It looks already dead.
It looks already dead and about wanting to come back to life.
Oh my!
It does.
His legs.
Mouth, his legs all his legs all twisted like a broken leg.
Yeah. He's seen some shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Teddy
yeah,
Ruxpin's
he's got
been
stories.
to Vietnam.
Yeah,
He's
Oh,
got
and it's got a
stories.
tape deck.
Yeah, I told
Yeah.
you. That's how
That's how.
See, that's the one you want. That's the vintage one. You
Yeah.
don't want,
Yeah.
you don't want a 2019 one.
Yeah, I don't want that you like put an iPod into or
No.
something.
No,
That'd be weird.
This is what you want.
Yeah, this
We need this.
This is like the tape deck out of
we
an
do not
I-
need this.
100%. we
It's
need
not a
it.
want. It's a need.
Yeah, we need it. If I don't have one of these, I'm not going to be happy for Christmas.
We'll get you
Put
one.
it on
All right.
your list.
Yep.
Yeah, put it on the
Circle
list. If I don't have one by my birthday tomorrow,
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
25
Anyway,
bucks.
Oh, we digressed.
Oh yeah, we digress for a long time. All jokes aside, what I did want to get into a little bit, and we'll probably go over, which is fine. But I wanted to hear what some of the challenges are of being female in technology, because I think I know that my boss, she was an awesome boss, but she still would encounter like these glass ceilings or just like not being paid the same, which I think is totally unacceptable.
It is.
Because it shouldn't be based on a gender. It should be based on how much you're valuable to the company. But what have your experiences been like trying to work your way to where you are now?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey for sure. It's something, I mean, I kind of mentioned this before, but you just have to get really comfortable with sticking out, which I think is a huge barrier to entry for a lot of women, because it can be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you have to know all the references, and luckily I'm super nerdy, and so it worked, but it can be difficult. And then, I mean, yeah, you get weird things said to you. Like, luckily I've been able, again, like, to laugh it off, but I had a huge, like, on my Twitter just in the last month, been doing a big, like, real things that I've been told as a woman in tech. And some people, like, really think it's fake, and I'm like, no, like, that happened.
Can we
like,
pull up your Twitter and read some of them? Is that if you
yeah.
just tell Kurt what
Oh,
the
I should have brought my phone down so I could
that's
pull
a-
up mine, but
is that gonna
yeah, I slow things down. I can remember a few, but just
Yeah.
like there was one where I was literally told to my face that me having the job I had took a job away from a man who needs to support his family.
Oh.
Oh my god, that sounds so Utah specific though.
I was like, and I'm a single mom at this time too, so I'm like, okay, like.
Such a naive
I said
thing to say.
something about like, oh well, I guess he should have interviewed better. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong. You didn't
Yeah.
get the job. I did.
Yeah.
one time I was like at a new place, like in the elevator, and someone got on, and they're like, and we're going up to the office, and he's like, oh, are you the new receptionist? I was like, no.
Are you
Oh
shitting
my
me?
goodness.
And then he goes, oh, whose wife are you? Like, that was the second option. I was like, I've been here for like a month.
Yeah, I work here.
I'm a developer.
I make more money than you do.
Yeah. I was once in an interview, and I was pseudocoding on the board. And so I'm literally like, yeah, writing pseudocode. We're talking about these things.
For the listener, that means you're writing code, but it's not actual code.
It's
It's,
like
kind of
fake.
just
But just going through like the thought process and
Yeah.
like the steps you would do.
Yeah, it doesn't
without-
have to be perfect.
You
You're
don't need
just
to know
kinda-
the libraries and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm doing that, and this guy comes into the room that we are in for the interview, and he like stops and he like looks, and it's like me and the guys that are interviewing me, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were getting an executive assistant."
Oh.
I was like,
You know what's crazy is that all of those things came out of somebody's mouth, and they said it because they thought it was acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say.
That is so
This guy, like-
unacceptable.
It's crazy.
I made he paid for that for years. I would just bring it up at random times. I'm like, hey, remember? Like,
I thank God you did that, because he probably regretted it the whole time.
Taught him
I
a
should have
lesson.
never said. Yeah, he'll probably never say that again.
which yeah, I like to think I'm like get it out of the way. And then hopefully you can move on and be better. We've had one where a guy told me that he would prefer if I didn't wear bright colors or tight dresses because it was distracting.
Oh, so he just wanted you to be in dark mode, like
I was like,
like
I
a
was like,
web
I don't
browser.
think that's my problem. And
Yeah.
so I went after that one was funny. I went to my boss and told him, and he was like, well, you know what that means? I was like, yeah, I need to find out exactly what the dress code is, and I'm gonna like be on it. And so
Yeah.
for like a month, every time I was in the office this guy was in, like I was sometimes a little uncomfortable with like how tight and short the dresses were, but I wore them.
Yeah, you were definitely getting under his
Every
skin.
day.
I was like, this
Oh.
is, and they were very bright. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I distracting you? Yeah. That's fun. And you know what? Just being in technology too. When I was in college, I went to Newmont University, which was just 2-year accelerated thing that I managed to stretch out to 4 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, I paid for that building downtown. If you're listening,
did.
But there would only be like a few women in any of the classes back then, and every time there was a new girl that came in, everybody was like, "Yo, we got to get to know her. Let's go talk to her." I'm sure that happens in the tech industry. Every new job, is there always some like creepy guy?
Usually, it's actually hasn't been too bad, especially now that I'm a little like higher up in my career. People like you get it where you can you're like, are you flirting with me?
Yeah,
that's weird. But I usually just can ignore it well enough. But definitely college was a whole trip because
I'm every day. You're like,
I
stop.
think out of my graduating class, I think there were 3 out of like 300.
Oh wow!
So just real weird odds, and so I was married at the very beginning to like my first husband, and then when we separated and like the ring came off, all of a sudden it was like I don't think I paid for a meal for like a month, and people would be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, you're getting all these dates, and I would always like yes, with the caveat like the odds are good, but the goods are odd. A lot of weirdos.
Yeah.
And that's how I met my current husband though. Is he was in the computer engineering program. And I was really bad at the computer architecture class. It was just really hard. It's really low level. All like the ALU stuff and all the bits. And I was like, ugh, and so he was really good at that. So I passed the class, and we're still together 12 years later.
Congratulations!
So,
that's a long time. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing well in your career, and everything's going great. Do you want to tell the listeners like your social media if they would like to follow you, if you're okay with that?
Yeah. I'm pretty active on Twitter at Nicki L Sanders. That's NICKILSANDERS. I'm on LinkedIn, all over there, and then I have Instagram at Nicki L Sanders. Also.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming along and sharing your story. It's awesome. And especially being just a woman in tech, or, I mean, women in the workplace in general, I think probably all have similar struggles. And it
is a real struggle sometimes still.
I don't think it's fair, but also I don't make the rules. I'm here to support the fact that it's not fair.
Right. Go wait.
Thanks.
Huge.
Thanks. Yeah.
We love an ally.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm definitely an ally. Kurt, I want you to say another thing from Curts Corner.
I can't.
Okay.
I do have something cool that I want to do for
Are you
the
saving it?
next one. I am.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
But wait.
The anticipation.
I do want to say happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Today's
birthday
the
tomorrow.
6th. My birthday's on the 7th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out of town, go camping.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you again for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks
Follow
for
her
having me.
on social media. This has been your weekly InSalt. You did such a good job.
You did a
Is
great
that
job.
okay?
Yeah.
We're getting one of those teddy bears.
We are not getting.
I'm going to put it right here in a booster chair right next to Laura.
No.
Yeah, we'll mic it up and everything.